Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video in particular, we're going to be talking about the total lunar eclipse that's happening in March 1 week from today. It's going to start on March 13th, going into March 14th, and it's going to be the first lunar eclipse or any sort of eclipse this year. So it's going to be very big. We've been talking about this since November, the blood moon, quote unquote, the blood moon. And so now we're getting up to this point of the blood moon. So we're going to find out what big things are happening. The month of March is going to be, how do I put this? Very exciting type of energy. When I say exciting, I mean lots of energy, whether it's good or bad. Doesn't mean that we have to get excited about it. It's not the intention here. But the intention is it's erratic. And excited, and when you're excited, the energy goes in multiple different places all at once. And that's what excited energy is. So we're going to talk about all the things that's happening, what shows up in the cards, and we're going to read. We're going to see what's going on here, both for me and you, how we're feeling at home, but also how we're going to be experiencing the world around us, whether here in the United States or abroad. So let's take a quick look. Let's see what's going on here, and then we will go ahead forward with another video. Now this video is being recorded on none other than Friday, March 7th at 11:19 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as of when I am recording this video. This video is just for entertainment purposes only and for educational purposes only as well. If you have been noticing that YouTube has not been notifying you when I do post and upload, do not worry. You can go into the comment section below or in my description. You can follow my Blue Sky account or my Facebook group, and I will personally notify you when I do upload. Now, with that being said, if you want to help out the channel grow, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, engaging with the comment section, or even better yet, watching this video longer than normal will tell the algorithm, hey, I like this content. So it helps me, helps you, helps everybody. Alright, so let's get into this. I don't want to waste your time. We have a time crunch to do. I had to pump out 5 videos so you guys have some content to watch over the weekend. So let's go ahead and let's see what's going on here. We're going to ask Spirit, what exactly do we need to know? What do we need to focus on? So this is going to be more so specifically a collective reading for you guys rather than a collective reading for the United States or globally. That will be in the next video right after. But my guys were like, do something for the people. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do something for you guys. Because, you know, after a while, you know, you kind of get a little sick and tired of just hearing or being political. What about something that's going on in your life? How is it going to affect you and your way of thinking? So, Spirit, how are we doing this? Okay, so the way they're doing this is they're telling me actually instantly enough, they're telling me that we're actually going to do it a little bit different than we normally have done so in the past. And the way it's going to work is that I'm going to create 3 different sections. And it's going to be based off your intuition and what you feel drawn to the most. And the information that comes out of that is going to be more personable to you rather than it being more for the collective. It's going to be where you choose it. But it's going to be based off of the cards here and whatever strikes you. And you'll be able to know more so as you get into today's video. Now, I just want you to take some time to pause and relax and get yourself in a very calm state of mind and just kind of ask yourself, what messages do I need to know personally, right? So we will get to that in a moment. So Spirit Angels, tell me for section 1, for those who are picking section 1, give me a card that represents section 1 in regard to how the total lunar eclipse is going to affect them. For some reason, this is something that Spirit wanted us to cover, so it might be very important for you guys to be able to know exactly what those messages are and the things that's coming to your way. Alright, section 2. For those picking section 2, Spirit. And for those picking section 3. Okay, you guys have a lot of issues, so I'm just going to do that again. Alright, section 3. Thank you. Alright, let's take a look. Let's see what the cards are saying here for you. Yeah, lunar eclipse. I mean, you literally can't make this stuff up. Lunar eclipse, culmination, release, illumination. This is why Spirit was telling me that, oh, you need to do this video. Because some people really need some information at this point in time on where to go from here and what to really expect coming out of this lunar eclipse. So that's what we're doing. So the first section here, right now what you're doing is you're just sitting down, you're just hearing all the information I'm telling you. And as you start to hear the information, you're going to start to realize what information is more relevant to you, and it's going to be based off of what resonates with you, not what does not resonate. So take what does, leave the rest behind, because it is a collective reading, not a personal reading. Therefore, it's not going to be personalized 100% to you, but it is going to be more resonating with you, if that makes any sense. Now, for the first section here, for those of you guys who might be picking this section, it's going to be known as Vista, whatever that is, Vista. It means inner spark, sacrifice, and devotion. That is reverse. Beautiful coloration on this card. But the second section here, we have two different two things going towards the future for you guys, for those of you guys who are picking the second section. It's the third house of Gemini, which means communication, transportation, local community. And the fourth house, which means family, roots, and foundation. I feel like this might be a message for me as well. So this would be probably the one that I would end up picking for me personally. But this is for everybody, like I said. And here we have the, I don't even know how to pronounce that, but yeah, you know the word here, right? Quincanax, I don't know. Dissident, adjustment, discord. And that's heading towards the past, which is anything heading in the direction of the, what's it called? The event means going towards the past. Anything heading this way means heading towards the future. That's what that means. Alright, so now that we understand it in full context here, with each section we're going to be talking about here, we are now going to talk about the price of love. So each section is going to get their own little deck. They're going to get each little card, and then we're going to go from there. I think it's kind of really cute, this little tarot deck, in particular because it actually comes with a little credit card. And that's not a real credit card for those of you guys who are hoping they can get free money. Alright, so Spirits and Angels, tell me for section 1, what information do you have for section 1 for the total lunar eclipse? Thank you. For section 2, for those who want information for the total lunar eclipse for section 2, what information do you have for them? I'm here on the wrong deck. Okay, so for section 3, what information do you have for those who pick section 3? For the total lunar eclipse that's happening next week. What information do you have? What information do you have? Thank you. Okay, so that is for section 1 and section 3. We are now going to take a couple cards from the butterfly deck, which is going to be for section 2. Okay, thank you. That seems to be kind of in between the two, so I guess this is the message for both then. So that's how we'll take that. We'll take that as a message for both. We'll clarify as you get into the reading more so. Alright, so Spirits and Angels, tell me about section 2. What messages do you have regarding section 2? What messages do you have regarding section 2? Section 2, what messages do you have for section 2? For those who are going to be picking section 2 in the 3rd and 4th house. For section 2 in this lunar eclipse, what in the month of March? Okay, and one last thing. Thank you. So now this is going to be really interesting. So this is going to be section 1, section 2, section 3, and then this is going to be kind of like for both. Well, this actually I'm getting this is collective. So this is for the collective in general. So let's take a look. Let's see what information might resonate with you guys. Some of you guys might actually be getting more information from multiple different sections. So if you feel drawn to watch this entire video, then that means that you have messages in each little section. One will resonate a little bit more than the other. Alright, so first section, for those of you guys who picked the first section, you have here Vista. Hasta la vista. It's kind of like what I'm getting. Right, that little energy there. And this means inner spark, sacrifice, and devotion. A lot of you guys have been in a state of depression. For you. A lot of you guys have been in a state of depression, in a state of confusion, if you will. And it actually makes a lot of sense here, because it comes up in this deck here. It comes in as a state of confusion. You guys don't know where to go. You don't even know who you are. You don't know who you are. And therefore you come in at a state of confusion. You feel very misguided. But some of you guys have a life path of number 5. And you feel very misguided. You don't know where to go. You don't know where you're going. You don't know who you are anymore. And that's okay. That's a blessing in disguise, because that means that you get to really figure out and spend this quality time figuring out, who am I? Or what am I supposed to be? And that's where you are right now. A lot of you guys are going through a life crisis, a for some of you guys, it's actually going to be mental. I'm also getting drug abuse, and some of you guys are in rehab. And then there's a few of you who are just going through one of those average life crises, whether you're 25, 35, 30, whether you're 40, 45, 50. Every 5 years, you kind of have a life crisis. You can't really escape that. It's just something that happened in humanity in some way, particularly in the modern era. And here you have here redacted, which means in some ways you feel openly exposed. You feel, for some of you guys, you feel exposed in some way. You feel openly vulnerable to the nature of the universe. Like you feel like you can't be mysterious in some way. Like something about you has been exposed, and for that you kind of feel very scared. You feel naked in some way, whether that is a physical manifestation or a non-physical manifestation. But in some way, in some form, you feel naked. And that's why it comes in as redacted. You feel very vulnerable at times. Like, I almost feel like I'm also getting some information here that you guys are afraid of robots or the universe, and that in some way, in regarding to AI and robots, you feel like you are in a very predicament where you could be easily robbed or easily fooled. That's what I'm getting. That's why you feel very vulnerable to the world around you, because you're in that state of confusion. Because you're in that state of confusion, you feel very vulnerable. And then that card is here is you have unfinished business. Right? You feel like you skip opportunities, you skipped options. That there were great things, that doors that were opening up your way, but you took other opportunities and other things to do certain things that you wanted to do, and you closed those doors. You didn't take the opportunities when the opportunity came to you, and you feel very regretful. You feel like it came at the wrong time for you at times. Like it feels like even though it came at the right time for the universe, it came at the wrong time for you, and you didn't benefit from it. You actually got injured by it. And that's why a lot of you guys feel like you have unfinished business, that there's so much more potential that you can do, and that you're almost done with your project, but you just feel like you just can't finish it. There's not enough time in the universe to be able to finish your goals or your bucket list. But the universe is saying you need to let that go. You need to let that go. There's a part of you that just needs to understand that you can't always fix everything. You can't always have everything you want. And it's okay to just sit by and just say, you know what? This isn't for me anymore. And you know what? It's okay, because while you're too busy focusing about this unfinished business, you're not realizing that there's other doors and opportunities open your way. And the more you focus on this, you're not realizing there's opportunity, there's doors opening. But as you focus on this, you can't see anything. The reason why you are confused, the reason why you feel vulnerable, is because you're in this state of mind that you need to go back to the past to finish something. Some things are meant to be unfinished. Not everything needs to be finished. And it's okay, because it's somebody else's job to pick up and just finish it. And let somebody else imagine that. Let somebody else do that. It's okay to just move. It's okay to keep going. It's okay to come out of a state of confusion, feeling like you're not vulnerable. It's okay to, build up those walls around you, whether that is emotionally, whether that is mental. But in some way, you need to be able to push past the past and just move forward. There's so much great potential for you. You just got to move past this. And if you can move this, these two issues of vulnerability and confusion will disappear. These two are a manifestation because of your inability to see what's in front of you. And therefore, you feel like life is passing you by, and life is simply passing you by because you're fixated on this. Get rid of this, and these two will disappear. That's section 1. For those of you guys who choose section 2, we have the third house. The third house is of communication, transportation, local community. Like for some of you guys are actively getting involved in your community, whether that is political, whether that is trying to get or rally around something. Maybe some of you guys have seen, the world has been taking so much stress on you that you have taken the opportunity to do things other than political, whether that's helping Girl Scout, whether that is, getting involved in nature and, all those type of things. Just getting involved in things that doesn't surround yourself in politics to kind of keep your mind off of it. Sometimes it's okay to let go for a little bit. What's the third house saying is that saying for some of you guys, you are actively participating in it. You're actively doing the work. You're actively getting to where you got to go. And because of that, you just got to keep continuing that momentum. For some of you guys, you need to get into that momentum. There's two sections of you guys. There's one of you guys who is already in that path, already doing those things. There's some of you guys who are sitting by waiting for direction, not realizing that you need to be the one to be directing yourself. No one's going to be telling you where you have to go. And you need to sit there and tell yourself where you have to go. Where do you need to go? And here the next card is we have fourth house, family roots function, right? Or foundation, excuse me, family roots and foundation. Some of you guys in the future, you're wondering if maybe you should move, whether or not you want to leave the country. Some of you guys are getting into this type of energy where like, I want to move. I don't know if I want to stay here anymore. And you're considering maybe your family, your family. Maybe some of you guys want to go back to the country where your family originated from, where your family roots came from, your heritage, if you will. Some of you guys might be going on vacation. I do see some of you guys are actually going on a cruise. I'm getting like the Caribbean, something like Puerto Rico or Jamaica or Cuba, somewhere within those regions. And then there's one of you guys who's going to Haiti. But the third house is of communication, transportation, and local community. It's again telling me some of you guys are thinking about your past, which means that some of you guys are experiencing life dementia or Alzheimer's. I'm getting. But it's saying to me that for those of you guys who are getting that type of experience or you're understanding that people around you are starting to have amnesia in some way, is that it feels like you feel like you're alone. And when I say dementia or Alzheimer's, I don't mean you as the individual are receiving it, but potentially you feel like the people around you just forgot. They forgot about something that is so important for you, and you feel like the world just had amnesia, like they just can't remember, like they've been brainwashed in some way. And it has to do with your commitment to whether it's your birthday or it's a commitment to something more important for you. For some of you guys, it's actually animals, some of it's actually nature, but a lot of it actually has to do with politics, and that's why it's driving you away from home. So in some way, politics is driving you away, and it's putting that division between you and a family, but at the same time, you are seeking a family outward, where you're speaking and you're seeking a family back in your home roots. Some of you guys are wanting to go home to your original family. Whether the family's there or not, you consider the country family because that is your heritage. Now, going here though, underneath the third house, which is local community, communication, transportation, again, it's interesting. Another family card comes in, which means parental care. So now you know how I mentioned and talked about Alzheimer's and dementia. Possibly some of you guys are actually taking care of people who are in that state of mind. That would make a lot of sense. It also means some of you guys are wondering whether or not it's okay to have a child, whether or not it's okay to have a grandchild here, or whether or not they even have a feasible future. These are all things that you're worried about and you're taking care of. For some of you guys as well, like I said, I mentioned animals and plants. You see them as children in some way. You see them as something you need to take care of, something you love, something that is passionate to you, but something that allows you to see its growth over a duration of time, to give something a better life because you personally feel like you maximize your ability to be able to have that life. Even though life is not maximizing for you, you feel in some way conflicted in that information. What it means, it tells me that there's a lot more growth that you need to do in terms of feeling better about yourself, in terms of who you love and the world treating you. You feel very content that you don't deserve as much, that others around you deserve love and they deserve caring, but you yourself deserve that too. And I think that you need to understand that you can't forget to love yourself too. It's okay to sit back and take care of you too. And then that card also comes in here, body changes, right? So body changes, you need to be in a state of metamorphosis. You need to allow yourself to go from a worm or a caterpillar into a beautiful butterfly. You need to be able to allow the transformation, the change to take fold. You need to allow yourself to age gracefully, to do things for yourself, to allow yourself to get to that point. I'm also getting here spiritual revolution for some of you guys. So this is enlightenment. Some of you guys need to start picking up a book. Some of you guys already do pick up a book. You just need to allow it to transform your mind. For some of you guys, I'm getting information that has to do with surgery and you're wanting to heal it fast and quickly. It takes time, so just give it time. It's also being challenged by leaving. You're deciding whether or not you want to leave. Whether it's something you want to leave, something that is emotionally toil to you, and this has to do again with that parental care. So whether or not you want to leave this and be able to explore where you gotta go. For some of you guys, I'm getting the information that you have kids at home around you, and you feel the life around you is not fulfilling anymore. It's not maximizing to your degree or your leisure. And because of that, you're debating whether or not you want to leave, but you're saying because your kids are here. But they're saying here it's okay to do that. It's okay. It's part of your bodily change. Because let them be on their journey too. You don't always have to be there in their lives. You did your part. You can be invested in FaceTime, all these other things. There's many ways of communication that our grandparents didn't have, our ancestors didn't have. We have that luxury. So you can move if you choose to seek it. You can move. You can leave it. Now, this doesn't mean I have to be physically moving. It could be something of leaving something behind, whether it's emotional, whether it's mental, whether it's spiritual. Whatever it is, you can leave it. It doesn't have to be a physical leaving, or it doesn't have to do something with taking care of someone as well. But again, it has to do with you can leave whatever it is that's burdening you so much behind. It's okay to leave that. Whatever it is, whatever information that comes to your third eye, or whatever comes to your mind at the point where I'm saying that, whatever comes to your mind, it's okay to leave it. If I'm getting an animal for some of you guys, don't leave your animal. Not recommended. Alright, so the third section here, we have the equinox, which is dissident adjustment discourse. For those of you guys who have chosen the third section, which I feel like some of you guys who have chosen the second section also chose the third section. And talking about here dissident or adjustment and discourse, which means a lot of you guys have been in fights. You have been, whether it's a fighting one within self, but it also feels like in some way you're fighting with your third eye. Like some of you guys are going through the spiritual awakening. You're fighting what you're seeing. You're not speaking what you're seeing all the time. You're not speaking, whether it is your third eye or not. What you see around you, the world that you see around you, you're not speaking it. You're not speaking what you see. You're not saying what you feel. You're not being openly honest with yourself. You're not being openly communicative with yourself, whether that is talking to yourself in the mirror or that's talking to others or addressing concerns or issues. I'm also seeing work for some of you guys. Like the boss will come over and he'll ask you how you're doing. You're like, good, good. But you know you're struggling, you're drowning, and you're just saying good, good. And the boss is giving you more and more work. Stop doing that to yourself. Seriously, stop doing that. You have dissident and adjustment. It's going to take some time to adjust to your new lifestyle. For some of you guys, you feel like you just came out of this critical point in your life where something was very damaging and you're starting to just become settled in some way. And you're wondering whether or not this adjustment period is for you, whether or not you are adjusting accordingly. And so the first card that comes in here, you have the lack of spark, which tells me that a lot of you guys actually came from the first section as well. So the first card that comes in is a lack of spark. You need to be able to hone in on the idea that it's okay to celebrate. Don't always make work or something all about your life. It's okay to celebrate. It's okay to get out there and to be happy for yourself too. It's okay to celebrate. You do have your soulmate recognition. A lot of you guys have been feeling that you've been going back to somebody continuously. Going back. Doesn't mean that they're soulmates. But it feels like in some way some of you guys have been going back to someone continuously. Whether it's for good or for worse. But you keep going back and back and back. And the spirit in the universe is saying it's okay to leave them behind too. Depending on how you feel, it's okay to leave them behind. It's okay to move forward. It's okay to be happy. Right? It's okay to have that spark again. And for some of you guys, you do have a love rekindling or a love interest coming your way. Whether that is an animal, whether that is a person, whether that is art, whether it's a hobby, whatever it is, there's some sort of love, something that you're really proud of, something that makes you happy and put a smile on your face. It's okay to celebrate it. It's okay to allow it into your life. Yes, you may have been burdened by what has happened to you. Doesn't mean you have to be dissident. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a state of discord and disarray. Whether or not, you feel like you were a bad person when you were younger, it doesn't mean you have to punish yourself. Right? You don't need to punish yourself. It's okay to be happy. And I'm getting French for some of you guys. So some of you guys are French. We have solitude, which means that it's okay to sit back and just appreciate the moment and just to appreciate the small things. It's okay to sit back. But don't sit back all the time hoping and wishing for something to come. Get out there and do it. Part of the manifestation is to put it out to the universe and to meet the universe halfway. And if you can meet them halfway, the universe will reward you and will meet you the other half. And the last card but not least is when you finally get to that point in time, you will be able to find that sense of healing, that sense of understanding that you can't complete yourself. You have the dots. Just finish drawing. Finish drawing. For some of you guys, we talked about the unfinished business here, which means that this also has in some way relation to something in your life that feels like something has left you, whether it's an animal dying or a person dying, as well as like something has been depleted, something has been drained out of you, something has been removed from you. And this healing card is just all talking about it's okay to finish the heart. It's okay to finish drawing it. So this is interesting because it's talking about different dynamics. We have people who are stating a state of confusion and feeling like they're stuck on the path and unable to see the opportunities ahead. These are people who feel like they want to move, they want to keep going, they feel stagnant, they want to break their stagnant cycle, and they want to just move, move, move. And then section 3 is talking about it's okay to allow happiness into your life again. It's okay to connect with that. It's okay to manifest and meet the world and the universe halfway. The universe will reward you for meeting it halfway. And what is the collective reading for all of us, for those of you guys who end up staying, is towards the path, what's coming towards the path is the dietary changes. Some of you guys put in the work. Some of you guys realize you need to make the dietary changes, and you are doing so accordingly. And also what's heading towards the past as well, was me seeking and finding. You finding your purpose, you're finding who you really are in this spiritual world, in this world of love and kindness. And I know that it's very hard to see the love and the kindness, but if you choose to open your eyes, you will be able to see that. Right? You will be able to see that because you're seeking something. But the universe is saying you don't need to seek it when you can make it. You can finish the story, you can finish the painting. It's still something that you yourself can pick up and finish. But it's saying here that you don't need to seek and find. You just already have it. You just need to unlock it. Unlock it. That's the whole story of today's video. Unlock the opportunities in front of you, and you will see the lunar eclipse for what it is. So this will be a reading for all of you guys. This is a collective reading, but also a more specific collective based on the section that you chose. You can pick more than one if you wanted to. I hope it did resonate with you. Let me know if it does or doesn't. Let me know in the comment section below. Take what does resonate, leave the rest behind. Not all of it is meant for you because it is a collective reading, so it's not always going to resonate. But I did my best, and I hope that it helped you in longest way, especially when it comes to the lunar eclipse. Alright guys, I love you. Have a great night. Until then, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, and don't forget to check out my other video regarding around the lunar eclipse here in the United States and globally. Peace out.